Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to our latest explainer, where we're breaking down England's World Cup run under their new manager, Thomas Tuchel. Let's set the scene right away, because the context here is absolutely everything. England arrived in the US with one clear, monumental mandate: finally put an end to the near-miss era.
Here's our tactical roadmap for today. We'll start with the Tuchel factor. Look at the squad shakeup, the shootout win versus Croatia, the tough night against Ghana, the Group L standings, and finally, what to watch for.
Section 1, the Tuchel factor, and ending the near-miss era.
So, Thomas Tuchel was hired to overcome a massive historical hurdle. Just look at this timeline. A semifinal exit in Russia back in 2018, a truly heartbreaking Euro final loss in 2020, and then another agonizing Euro final loss in 2024. It's crystal clear, right? The talent has absolutely never been the issue for England. Finding a way to close out the big games when the lights are brightest, that has been the ultimate stumbling block. And that's exactly why Tuchel, a manager with a serious, proven winning pedigree, was brought in.
And you know what's crazy? Think about how many goals England conceded during that entire qualifying run. 0. Literally none. 8 wins from 8, complete perfection. But as we all know, that kind of flawless run brings its own unique kind of pressure once the actual tournament begins. So, no pressure then.
Section 2, the squad shakeup and the thin margins at the top level. And this brilliantly illustrates just how incredibly thin the margins are at the absolute top level. Before a ball was even kicked at the tournament, the squad had a massive scare. Newcastle's Tino Livramento picked up a calf injury in training and was just completely ruled out. Just like that, your tournament plan changes overnight. Fortunately, FIFA rules allowed a straight swap, so Chelsea's Trevoh Chalobah was called up, packed his bags, and immediately flew out to join the squad in Kansas City. It's a stark reminder that you're always just one single training session away from having to rewrite the whole script.
But hey, even with that setback, the depth of this roster is just staggering. You've got Pickford in goal, a defensive anchor of James, Guehi, Stones, and Konsa, Rice and Bellingham running the midfield engine room, and then a terrifying front line featuring Kane, Saka, Rashford, and Eze. I mean, on paper, this is quite simply as deep a squad as England have taken to a major tournament in years.
Section 3, that shootout win against Croatia, a chaotic, entertaining opener.
So, Game 1 in Dallas was anything but your typical cagey, nervy tournament opener. Now, what's really interesting here is that England didn't just edge past their opponents. They engaged in an absolute shootout, coming out on top 4-2. It was exactly the kind of massive statement fans were absolutely desperate to see.
It wasn't just about getting the 3 points, though. It was how they did it. It was a win with real attacking intent, goals flowing from multiple players, and Harry Kane looking super sharp right from the opening whistle. Tuchel got his first big tournament result straight out of the gate, and you could practically feel the belief around this entire squad shift up a gear.
Section 4, the tough night against Ghana and a stark tactical contrast.
If that Croatia game was open and chaotic, Game 2 was a complete 180, a stark tactical contrast. England entirely dominated the ball, reportedly holding as high as 85% possession at one point. But experienced coach Carlos Queiroz had Ghana set up in a deeply disciplined low block. They effectively just dared England to break them down. And despite having the ball constantly, clear scoring chances for England were incredibly scarce.
The tactical steps of the match played out like a super frustrating puzzle. Step 1, England dominates possession. Step 2, they run face-first into rigid banks of 5 in both midfield and defense. Step 3, Tuchel turns to his bench, throwing on Saka, O'Reilly, Rashford, and Rodgers, desperately looking for someone, anyone, to pick the lock. It was a real reality check. They just couldn't grind out the result against a resilient Ghana side, who, by the way, arrived full of confidence after sneaking past Panama with a stoppage-time winner in their own opener.
Section 5, Group L standings. Let's look at where things currently stand.
Let's zoom out a bit to see exactly where things sit as we approach the decisive final match day. England sits in Group L alongside Ghana, Croatia, and Panama. To close out the group stage, England faces Panama in New Jersey. The math here is actually really simple. A win there secures the top spot outright. Anything less than a win, and England's going to be anxiously watching the other results to see how the numbers shake out. And trust me, winning this group matters immensely.
So the crucial point is this structural advantage. Thanks to FIFA's new seeding system, if England wins Group L, they physically cannot run into the very top seeds, we're talking teams like Spain, Argentina, or France, until the semifinals at the earliest, assuming those teams also top their groups. Winning the group literally keeps the toughest names on the planet at arm's length until the very end of the tournament. It's a total game changer.
Section 6. What to watch for heading into the knockout rounds.
As we transition into the business end of the tournament, there are three major storylines you really need to track. First, can Tuchel find the perfect tactical balance? We saw that thrilling, free-flowing dynamic attack against Croatia, but we also saw the severe frustration against Ghana's low block. Merging those two realities, knowing when to fly and when to patiently control the game, is going to define this team's success.
Second, who is the ultimate tactical protagonist of this stacked squad? Is Harry Kane still the undeniable focal point of everything they do? Or, as the games get tighter and the stakes get higher, does this transition into Jude Bellingham's stage to run?
And finally, the psychological burden. With a potentially favorable draw set up to avoid the heavyweights early, does that actually amplify the pressure? I mean, this squad has heard "this is finally our time" before. Will that history weigh them down? Or will Tuchel's leadership finally help them break through that ceiling?
Bottom line, one big statement win, one incredibly frustrating stalemate, and a massive group decider against Panama coming up. They have the talent, they have the manager, and the draw is right there for the taking. Will it be enough to finally get over the line? I really want to know what you think. Drop your score prediction for the Panama match in the comments below. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss our deep dive knockout breakdown, and I'll see you in the next explainer.